For the longest time, I believed respect was something people automatically understood. You treat others well, they treat you well. Simple. At least that's how I lived my life. I supported my wife, Lily, in everything she did. She ran a small business, attended networking events, and often brought me along because she said my presence made her feel confident. I always tried to look presentable, polite, and supportive. But one night showed me exactly what people really thought of me. It happened during a business dinner at a fancy restaurant. My wife's new business friend, Daniel, slick hair, expensive suit, and a smile that felt more like a smirk, was there. The moment he saw me, he gave me a quick up-and-down look and said, "Oh, you brought your driver? Assistant." Then he laughed like he'd told the funniest joke in the world. My wife awkwardly corrected him, "No, that's my husband." Instead of apologizing, Daniel raised his eyebrows and said, "Really? Wow. Didn't expect that." That was the first jab. And unfortunately, it was only the beginning. Throughout dinner, he mocked everything about me. My job, not exactly impressive, is it? My clothes, did you buy that tie from a street stall? Even the way I spoke, "You're so serious, relax man." He laughed loudly every time he delivered one of those little insults. Others at the table followed him, probably thinking it was harmless fun. And my wife, she didn't defend me. She just smiled nervously, like she didn't want to ruin the mood. Every laugh felt like a pebble thrown at my dignity. I stayed quiet, because arguing in front of 10 strangers would have made things worse. But inside, something shifted. Respect, once lost, doesn't come back easily. When we got home, I asked my wife why she didn't speak up. She sighed. "He's important for business. You take things too seriously." He was only joking. Joking. A grown man humiliating another man in public was a joke. I didn't argue. I just nodded and said good night. But I didn't sleep. I kept replaying the way Daniel looked at me, like I was beneath him. Like I was insignificant. I realized something. People like Daniel only understand power. And I had something he didn't know about. I worked quietly for years as a systems analyst for a large corporation. Behind the scenes, I handled communications, security protocols, and digital monitoring. My job wasn't glamorous, but it was highly connected. And the next morning, while having coffee, a thought hit me. Daniel's business was only a year old. He bragged all night about how massive his contracts were. But many of those contracts were with companies I knew personally, including one major client who had zero tolerance for unethical behavior. So I made one phone call. Not to destroy him. Just to inform someone who deserved to know the truth. I called the procurement head of that major company. A man I'd known for years. I asked casually, "Hey, do you guys vet the contractors you work with?" He said, "Yes, of course." I said, "Interesting. Because one of your contractors spent last night bragging about inflating invoices and giving gifts under the table to secure deals. Just thought you should know." I didn't even mention his name. I didn't have to. The procurement head immediately said, "Are you talking about Daniel F.?" I stayed silent for 2 seconds, which was confirmation enough. And that's all it took. One call. One seed of doubt planted in the right mind. By noon, the news broke. Daniel's company was under internal audit. His contracts were frozen. The company issued a statement suspending all dealings with him. In just a few hours, he went from arrogant businessman to a man fighting to keep his reputation alive. That evening, my wife's phone rang. She picked up, confused. It was Daniel, voice trembling, panic obvious. He said, "Lily, did your husband say something to someone? Suddenly my contracts are being reviewed. They think I'm doing fraud." My wife looked at me with wide eyes. "Did you do something?" I just sipped my tea and said calmly, "Looks like your friend learned a valuable lesson today." She didn't know whether to be angry or impressed. She sat down quietly. For the first time in days, she realized something. The man she had allowed others to laugh at wasn't weak. He was patient. And patience is often mistaken for weakness until the moment it ends. Later that night, she apologized. Really apologized. She said she should have stood up for me. She said she saw a side of me she didn't expect. I told her the truth. I don't need revenge to feel strong. But I won't let anyone humiliate me and walk away smiling. If someone throws dirt at me, I'll return it, but cleaner, smarter, and in silence. As for Daniel, his business never recovered. The jokes he made that night became the background noise of the downfall he never saw coming. And the next time someone tried to disrespect me, my wife didn't stay silent. She stood right beside me.